I think we're live. I think we're
Yay!
live. Hello. It says we're live. Yes, yes, yes.
Woo!
We
You did
are.
it.
Yeah. Let me make sure. It still says waiting on my phone. So I just want to make sure. How do I confirm that I'm live? Could somebody in the chat please tell me whether I'm actually live? Okay, it looks like we're live. So let's just start chatting and we hope for the best, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
I'm just coming back to our screen. Hello, Vicky. So
Hello, Lauren.
this is Viktoria Chervenkova. She is the Money Goddess's Guide, and we are live today talking about surrendered flow
Mm.
and how that helps you create miracles. Isn't that
Yeah,
exciting?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Vicky, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and I'm just going to check the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you first of all for having me on the podcast again. Every time it's such a pleasure and joy to talk on so many different topics from entrepreneurships and book and whatnot. And now today we're talking about miracles and manifestation and how being in flow actually accelerates the process. A little bit of background about me for those watching that have no idea who I am. My name is Victoria. I'm an entrepreneur of about 15 years. Was in marketing for 20 plus years. And recently I pivoted into what I am most passionate about, which is the intersection between psychology, mythology, and personal finances for women. I wrote a book. I wrote several workbooks on other people's books about money. I'm the host of Money Goddesses, a community on Skool where we reclaim our sovereignty over money as women, and we tap into our money goddess potential inside so that managing and even investing becomes easy and not stressful, not something you guess or you fear, but something that comes naturally. I think that's enough as an intro.
That was an amazing intro. I'm so sorry. I couldn't work out where the video was playing in the background. I had so many little tabs open. That's hilarious. Okay, but thank you, thank you, thank you for your awesome interview. And we've got lots of comments here, but I want to start with one that which I probably went and closed. But I think I took a screenshot of it earlier. In the one community where I advertised this today, because we decided to do this at the last minute, you and I. It's like I didn't have much time to advertise our chat today. And so today I was advertising it to everybody, and I got this amazing comment from Lisa Ann in my Reinventors Playground community. She said, totally there for it. So I'm guessing she's on and leaving comments at the moment. And then she said, or at least most of it have to head to work at the end of the hour. And then she said, the thing I've noticed about my experience is my life is full of lots and lots of little and some big miracles and synchronicities, but I forget them during the
Mm.
in between times, in the mundane and irritations of everyday life, and end up weighed back down in general. Would love to step into a place of more steady, conscious awareness of how much I am always being and will be taken care of by the source of life, staying more connected with all the wonderful things I believe and know are true about why I'm here to experience life. So I'm gonna just say over to you, Vicky. How would you answer Lisa Ann?
Yeah. Well, first of all, hi, Lisa Ann, if you're here and listening and watching, and thank you for that comment. it is so common. And I must admit, I was in that trap for a very long time, for a very, very long time. Those wonderful things happen in your life, like the small wins, the big wins, the miracles, the manifestations you call in. But because our lives are so busy, because our schedules are so packed, we just take a quick notice and then move on to the next thing, which really deprives us from fully experiencing the beauty and the wonder of how things came about, like all the sequence of events, all the little things that came together for this particular moment to appear to manifest in your life so that you can, digest it, be joyful about it. We don't take the time to sit with it, enjoy it, feel it fully, because there's always something else to take care of, to chase, like the next thing to achieve, to manifest, or anything like that. So we deprive ourselves. That's the truth. We do it to ourselves. So one little trick that I started implementing not too long ago, but that helps me a lot, like a lot, is keeping a very like small diary or a notebook with you and taking a very quick note of anything that you notice that seems like a synchronicity, like a divine intervention, or even a small tiny win, and just keep a note of when it happened, what you noticed, just a couple of words. It doesn't have to be an essay. It just needs to be very quick. And at the end of the day, if you have the time, just spend a few minutes browsing through your notes, seeing what happened, staying with it for a little bit. And then maybe you want to do like a weekly review or a monthly review of all the amazing things that came together. And sometimes you will notice that there was an event that looked like a synchronicity or some opportunity popping up, and then you'll notice, oh well, this one faded away. It didn't really bring anything, but the excitement was there. It is proof that things are moving, things are changing, or leading to what you are trying to bring in as a miracle. If we can even talk about a process, there is a process, but it's not something that we can control that much. But the idea is, write it down. I know it just take a few seconds to write it down. The difference this simple trick makes is absolutely enormous. It's huge. And just sitting with your notes and seeing what happened over the course of the past week or month, and you'll notice things that you already forgot, like a week ago, a small win that you already forgot, and seeing it there, it's like, oh yeah, right, this happened. That brought me joy. So it's like reliving and reinforcing that moment. So you extend the life of the miracle that happened in your life. That's what I do, and that's what I recommend.
Getting a charger. Thanks, Mom. Okay. How are you liking the chat? Sorry, my son getting a charger. I should have had it on mute. I love that you gave those tips, Vicky, because that is exactly how I was going to answer. Lisa Ann, it's Lisa Ann, right? I've got a little miracle book. I found a really beautiful one, and I put my miracles in there, and it fits in my handbag nicely. And then I also have this little miracle jar, a little joy jar, where I put in all the different miracles like throughout the year. And then I went back and read them on the 31st of December. It was so nice to read them. And yeah, I had forgotten about some of them. It was so
Mhm.
amazing. So what you're saying is so true. And also what I thought, what came to me while you were busy talking about that is, why don't we do that intentionally in the Miracles Are Normal community, because that would be amazing that people could, because that would be another place where we could read each other's miracles. I mean, I've got one little post there where people can put down a miracle, but maybe we could make it a weekly thing, like Friday, Miracle Fridays or something. Just chat about the miracles that have happened, this week, or Miracle Monday. Wait, Monday is probably even better day than things that happened on the weekend. And, just any miracles that have happened. And so that people can have like a really long list and remind themselves, and they can also go back to that and see the miracles that they have put down.
Yeah, I
So it
love
just,
that.
yeah, anywhere where we can record them, anywhere where we can record them is great. So, but let's get into the miracles you have created by living in flow, and then we'll get into that little process that you spoke about. So, I first want you to please, please, please tell them the story of last year and how so many things came about in your life, but without you setting any goals or making any plans, because people are very fixated on this goal setting idea. And I wanted to talk about that as well. But first, just lay it on them.
Well, it all started, as you know, it all actually it everything started with the book. Um, right after I ended my marketing career, I was in that in between period where I guess I was just relaxing into what is meant to come. I didn't try to force anything. I didn't try to, now pick a lane, choose an industry, or pivot into a career. I was just being there. And the idea for my book came to me. Unleash Your Inner Money Goddess, Ancient Female Wisdom for Modern Wealth. And that's how it rolled. It just turned the wheel for everything else that came afterwards. And the idea of the book was not something that I came up with. I always say that it was like a divine download. It was just such a powerful synchronicity of two events going on at the same time in my life that I was just looking at them and just put them together, and boom, that book came in. So that's how it was born. We've discussed this before, so I've discussed this on many occasions. So I will not go into the details about the book. But after the book, something cracked open. I started reaching out to people, expanding my network, offering the book to people to read, to give me some feedback. I got amazing feedback on the book and the content and the concept and the idea of working with your goddess archetypes to well, not fix, but face your relationship with money. And that's how I met you. And that's how I met some other really, really amazing women in my life. And some asked for more after the book. They were like, okay, this is good, but I want more. And so I was thinking, okay, what more can I offer? And that's how the idea for the full entire course, the Money Goddesses Grow system came. And it's a I wouldn't say like a huge course. You've done it. It's 4 modules, 40 lessons, workbooks, but it really takes a woman from the very beginning, from the very start of the process to the end goal of starting to invest on your own for the very first time in the stock market. That's what was called in. I didn't intend to create a course, but that's just what came up. Okay, so I did it. Then as we were leading the course, as we were working through the course, I accidentally got invited to a school group. And I had been invited to a school group before. I signed up. I didn't make any sense of the platform, so I left it not to go back for months, but something happened and I got on there again. I got hooked. So I spent a lot of time on the platform and made some amazing connections, relationships until at some point, a lot of the women around me in those communities asked me to create a community for money goddesses. Okay, so it and like all of this unfolded like one step at a time. I never ever have ever imagined that I will be building a school community with bringing together what I know about money, about psychology, about investing, about mythology and archetypes, like all of my passions and hobbies and interests into one. But it was like I was just following the breadcrumbs, and all these amazing things just happened without me pushing. I never had. I mean, if you had asked me on January 1, 2025, what I plan to achieve by the end of the year, none of that would have been in my answer. Like a school community, a course, workbooks. I started writing those workbooks. I never actually advertised them. I only talked about them in the community, and the community had its own version of the workbook. So I was never selling the workbook to anyone, but I just uploaded a couple on Amazon and they started selling by themselves. It's like another thing that, yeah, just happened on its own. I was the whole year felt like I was just answering a certain call coming from somewhere, and I was just responding as I am, in flow. I'm like, okay, this feels good, makes sense. Yeah, let's go and do it. No expectations whatsoever, like how it will work out. When I did try to push some expectations, things stalled. Like, I mean, they stopped, they paused, nothing changed, nothing moved for a couple of weeks at least. So I was like, yeah, it doesn't work like that.
I love that. I love that. I mean, even the book wasn't planned. Like the book is the thing that sparked everything else. It was like
Right.
this, like dominoes, but going up, not falling down. And just everything just led to another thing, led to another thing. But all of it was like divine flow and inspired action. It was just, okay, I got this idea, I got this download. I'm going to write the book. Now, the book, you write the book, people love it, they want the course. People love the course, they want more, they want a community. And you start the community, it's like, you just, like you say, following the breadcrumbs. I absolutely love it. And then can you also tell the story about what happened in December? That, like, I love that story about December. It is just so gorgeous when you landed a job without, with one little thought in your mind.
Yeah, well, you know how I'm all about creating passive income streams, or at least semi-passive income streams. So I have a lot of those started, and working on some, additions. But at the same time, I was looking for additional like side gigs that I could use to help around with the family until things, started kick off with the community and monetizing the actual income stream. That's work in progress. It just takes a little bit of time. So as I am looking around and I'm thinking, well, I need to get something, but it has to be part-time because I need to have a specific like time frame within my day that I need to be available for my kids, to drive them to school, to pick them up from school, to bring them to some other, activities. So I need that time frame. So whatever comes, whatever I pick, it has to be part-time. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's part-time, but I don't really want it to take up too much of my mental capacity and energy because I really want to focus that on the work, on the income streams that I'm building. Like it takes mental focus and energy to create the workbooks, to lead the community, to establish additional income streams. So I really wanted to, um, you know, get something, but not that engaging that would also pay something. And come December 30th, I'm preparing this special salad that we have for New Year's Eve. And I make like a ton of it. Like I think it was like 5 kilos of it. And I put it in the fridge, we eat and everything. And the next day I'm supposed to bring whatever is left to my parents' house where we would, welcome the new year as a family. And I realized that there's only about 1 kilo left, and we're about 10 people that we're getting together. So it wasn't enough for everyone. So I was like, oh gosh, I need to make some more. But I don't have all the ingredients. So I have to go to the grocery store in the village where it's a very little town that I live. So I go there, and at the counter where the cashier is, I see this note from the local community center in my village that says, we are looking for a mentor for our digital club that's a part-time, engagement. I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. I'll check what it's all about. I take the grocery, I go home, make the salad. I pick up the phone and I talk to the community center secretary, and she explains to me that they need this mentor for a newly established digital club that they're opening, and they need someone to help users use the computer technology and get some guidance on how to use the internet, emails, and sign up for, what is it, like a voucher system where they can learn a skill or a language for free. And they just need someone to, lead these people when they need to use the services. And so I was like, okay, it sounds good. What's the working time, the schedule? I was like, oh, whatever you want. Like, we need you to be here 4 hours a day, but it's your choice what hours you will be working. Oh, okay. So as I thought about it, it was like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect thing that I was looking for, that I was, you know, requesting in my life. Because yes, it's a part-time job. It pays a little, but it gives me all the space and the mental capacity to actually move my own project while being there and serving people. It was like, it was, and the thing is, if my family hadn't eaten all that salad and I didn't have to go to the grocery shop for more ingredients, none of this would have happened. So it's like you never know like which element of the puzzle will lead you to the next breadcrumb. And it's like it feels like it's just another income stream just entered my life out of nowhere after I had laid out my requirements for it. That was everything that I did.
Absolutely, absolutely love that. I mean, I had a similar thing happen in December where I was kind of working in different ways, building in the school communities to attract new clients. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to take a holiday in the holidays because it's school holidays. We have our long summer holidays in December, going into January before the new year our school year starts in January, the new school year. And so I thought, no, I'm just going to relax and I'm going to enjoy the holidays with my son, with my husband. And I went off on a Friday evening to join my husband for his Friday evening drinks at our local place, Fancy Frank's, and off I go. And I met a couple there who own a guest house in the area. And like a few days later, the husband bought a whole bunch of vouchers from me for his wife and his wife's sister. So I had this idea that I want to make money in December, but I don't want to actually work for it. And with him buying these gift vouchers, I got the money up front and I only had to do the treatments in January. Well,
There you
yeah,
go.
they just came and they've only just left now, and it was absolutely amazing doing the treatments. And it just worked out so nicely that I could relax in the holidays because the money was there, and I didn't even have to serve the clients during that time. It was
That,
just one of those amazing
I love
things.
it. Yes,
Yeah,
it's like you set your requirements or your wish or
yeah,
what you would love to happen, and then you just let it go and
exactly.
you just
Yeah.
follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, so let's talk about the process then. Let's talk about what you believe are, if you had to say there were steps in this process, how many steps are there and what are the steps?
Okay. First, it's it's like manifestation, right? Bringing in the miracles that you want for yourself, for your life. It's what we know generally as manifestation. Let me start with what the process is not, because I see so many people confusing what manifestation is versus what it is not. What the essence, like the actual process is, versus all the tools, the whistles, the bells, the unnecessary fluff that you can do without, like pretty much. You can do without any of them. I've manifested in my life. I've manifested a job at the dream company that I wanted to work at without a job being announced, without a position being announced at all. I got it. Like they opened a position for me. I manifested my husband um, after 18 months of trying so hard to get it. I'm like, ah, no. But finally, it did happen. I manifested a real estate. If I give you the details of how that happened, it's just crazy. I think we've discussed this on a private call, but it's just amazing. And I manifested this opportunity right into my life. And since then, I manifested another thing that just came a couple of weeks ago that I haven't even told you. it's it's such a beautiful. It's again a money an income stream that's leveraged income stream. I was invited to be a partner in a newly established school community where I get paid a percentage of the income generated, and I don't have to do any of the sales, marketing, lead generation, or anything like this. So I will be paid a percentage. The more people come, the more I will get paid, but the level of the work that I do is the same. So I think that's one of the types of income streams I love to bring to my life. Okay, so I don't have to work more. I don't have to work more hours or harder or anything to create more income. No, it's leveraged income. With the same level of effort, you actually earn much more money. Okay, so that's the newest thing that just came in. So with all of these, and of course, so many little things, smaller manifestations and miracles that have happened. When I look back at the process, it's so clear what has worked and the exact steps that I took to get there. And I'm sorry, it doesn't have to do anything with journaling. I have never ever journaled in my life. So if you're journaling for manifesting, you can do without. I don't do affirmations. Like my brain hurts when I try to do affirmations. I love the sound of them. Okay. I like how they sound. They give you that dopamine hit, but like the second I'm done, it's like my brain goes, yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not happening like that. It's that internal conversation. So no journaling, no affirmations. Interestingly, all of these, the majority of these manifestations came without me having to shift any of my like identity or acting in the presumption that things are happening. And I can go on and list all of the typical manifestation advice that we get. And I'm telling you, none of this. You don't need any of this. And oh, right, and energy blockage removals, money blockage removals. These are nice. They're good, but you can manifest without doing. That's what I've experienced. So the process is so simple. Anyone can do it. Really, anyone. First, you got to know what you want. You got to know what miracle you are calling in. Sometimes it's very clear, like this is it. Like the first time I saw my husband, but like when we met, I was like, that's him. I knew it. I was 18. I was like, that's the guy. I mean, you can't get any more specific than that, right? That's one. You either can be very specific or you can have like a set of requirements, like I did for the job. It needed to be a part-time. I need to set my own hours, and it doesn't have to take too much of my focus and energy. Or this is exactly what happened with the real estate. We had our requirements. We wanted it to be in the mountains at a specific altitude. We wanted it to be not more than an hour drive away from where we live. We wanted it to cost not more than a certain amount of money and a bunch of other things. So, requirements. What is it that you want? Then the next step is taking aligned action. That's to like following the breadcrumbs, being in the flow, really opening your eyes for all the possibilities that will start popping up. They will start popping up for sure. And whenever you see something that clicks, that feels right, follow it. But follow it without expectations. Follow it without going like, oh, this is it. Now this is going to work. Follow it with an open heart and childlike curiosity. It's like, let's see what this can do. Maybe it will lead somewhere. Maybe it won't. You know, you never know. But when you approach it with this openness, like with a pure heart and mind and intention, it doesn't really matter where it will lead you because of the joy that you will have for even following that lead. So following the breadcrumbs, taking aligned action, that's step number 2. Step number 3, and this is where there's a lot of misconception and misuse. Yes, there is identity shift work, but it's not the end all. You can do that. You can change some traits in yourself. So you perceive yourself as the person who does things a certain way. That will help boost the process, especially if we are talking about business. Once you see yourself as the businesswoman who simply does this, it's very much easier to build a business that's working, that's effective, that in a way that makes you more effective and efficient. So that works. It's a great step, but it's like a mid step. You can do without it, uh, but it just builds much more than the miracle itself. It just builds you as a person and helps you develop. So I wouldn't miss it, but it's not like critical. And the final step where like all everything depends on that. I mean, I really can't stress enough how important this final step is. Nothing else will matter if you don't do this final step. And that is letting go. Like truly surrendering to a power, source energy, God, universe, Allah, whatever you want to call it. The moment you keep on pushing, you keep on following those breadcrumbs, but with the expectation that, oh, this is it, this is where I need to push more, I need to exert more um, effort, put some more time, like sleepless nights. The moment you're like fed up and you're like, I can't do this anymore, I'm just surrendering. I did what I did what I did. I took my aligned actions. Now it's out of my control. That's what I call like the complete surrender. And in all the experiences that I've had that I mentioned, all of them came only after I completely surrendered, including my husband. I told you, 18 months, a year and a half, I was like, I wanted him so much. I wanted him to love me so much. We got together and we broke up 3 times. Like he would leave me 3 times. And I was like, no, I gotta keep pushing. I gotta be available. Finally, 18 months later, I was like, I don't care. I just love this guy and come what may. I'm just being here, being open. And a month later, things happened. And he said that he loved me. And that was 25 years ago. But my point is really, until you get to that point, things just don't surface the way that would work best for you. And sometimes that may not be exactly what you wished for. That's something else that people um, miss in this process because we think we know everything. We think we know what's best. We think what we want will make us happy and fulfilled and satisfied. And the truth is, we don't know. Life knows much better than us. The universe, that source energy, whatever name we use for it, consciousness, it has a much broader picture and it has a much greater sense of what really needs to happen so that you get what you need. And sometimes it may not be exactly what you want. Sometimes it may be much more than what you have wished for. But having that in the back of our minds is what makes the difference to me.
We had a great chat in the comments, by the way, on the live chat. Caroline said, literally had a good one on the call. My daughter is very driven to be in the film industry, but she just gave up film school, which sounds like failure. But a friend just messaged looking for a cinematographer. He has written the film and recruited the actors. This is exactly what she does. Bonkers. Isn't that amazing?
There you go. Another proof
Caroline?
right there while we're
Yes.
talking about it.
Right while we're talking about this, she had like that happening. And I mean, I had another thing happen in December. It was exactly when I took my foot off the brake, what like put my foot on the brakes and decided I'm just going to relax and enjoy my holidays. Things started coming. And well, actually, during those holidays, I had so I think there's another step. Before I tell you my story, I think there's another step that you haven't mentioned, and you can tell me whether it's part of your process or not. But this is the step that I think is actually critical, and that is choosing to be happy without it. So, like consciously deciding that yes, the universe has got your back, or God has got your back. God knows better than you do, that part that you said, and consciously choosing to love every aspect of your life, to be grateful for everything, to savor all the things that you have, what's right in front of you right now, recognizing that you already actually have whatever it is you're after. Because whatever you are after, whatever it is that you're looking for, and that what you're hoping for, and what you're dreaming for, all of those things actually boil down to a state that you want to feel. So some way that you want to feel. So like for example, you're hoping for the job, but why are you hoping for the job? Maybe because you want to feel security. You want to feel a little bit of security that there's this income coming in on a monthly basis. So feel secure right now. Feel the security right now. Or if it's a business that you want to explode, what do you want from that business? You want maybe freedom, adventure, travel. Travel now. Do something right now. Just notice that you already can be out in your life. Go and be a tourist in your own city for a day. Pretend that you're a tourist in your own city, and the travel will come to you. So that's what happened to me in December. So I decided I'm going to let it all go. And a friend offered my husband the option to stay at his beautiful place on a lovely golf estate, like in an area I absolutely love of South Africa called the Garden Route. And I was like so excited. I was like, yes, we're going to take it. And then my husband didn't take it because he didn't feel he could take the time off work at that time. And I was disappointed and I had to work through my disappointment. And then I decided, no, let me just enjoy my life. Let me just enjoy Cape Town, this beautiful city we're in. Let's have a good time. Let's do the things we can do here. And I let it go. And the minute I let it go, a holiday came to us. And I don't want to give it away because it's my miracle story in the book that is going to launch on the 27th of March, and miracles are normal. But I can tell you, even writing in that book, writing that miracle story in that book, that came to me in December as well. Because I had this feeling. I was sitting, one morning I was sitting and I just kind of prayed to God. And I just said, God, I'm in your hands. I need guidance. I've had a lot of coaches telling me how to do things and what to do. And I'm taking this break now because I want to drop in, I want you to drop in to me what really I should do. What is it that is going to be best for me? And the idea came to me, the inspiration came to me that the next step for me is writing the best-selling book. That's what I've had on my, dream list for so long. And I saw you do it and what a book did for you. What writing a book does for you is just so magical. And so I just decided, okay, I'm going to write a book. And then I thought, but I want it to be a best-selling book. So how can I be sure that I can write a book that's a bestseller? And then on that very day, after I'd asked that question, I got a message on Messenger, and I get tons of messages on Messenger. I've got quite a few followers on Facebook, and I don't know all of them, but because a lot of them who come and contact me, they can see that I'm a coach. And so they're coming on to say, oh, I see that you're a coach. I can help you with this lead gen thing. I can help you. They're all trying to sell me something, or they're trying to
Yeah.
sell me on their particular method of how they build the coaching business, right? And it's all going to cost money. And then I get this message on Messenger from this lady, Dina Marais, who I'd never heard of. I think I just accepted her friend request because she was like South African and she looked interesting. So she pops me this message. She says, I've been going through your profile and I see that you have everything in place, except it doesn't look like you have a book. Have you written a book yet? So I respond to her, like, funny you should say that. I've written two half books. None of them are published. And I just can't seem to get past this point of like not having a published book. So she said, well, I have this way where you could just write a chapter. And because she's South African, now I've been offered this many times. I've been offered it costs anything from $1,000 to $10,000 to be part
Mm,
of a book project collaboration where where you can be part of a best-selling book. And then,
mm,
you work with a company who makes sure it's a best-selling book. And you've got all these other authors like all inviting their people to buy. And it's really exciting experience. And I've always resisted it. And I think most of my resistance has been about the fact that it was all too expensive, especially when I was offered the one for $10,000,
yeah.
which had, a great forward by a famous guy and whatever. Anyway, so I always thought, okay, that's out of my reach. I'm never going to become a best-selling author that way. And then she said, it's only $188. I was like, what? Like, even I can afford that. Like, I was, wow, this is amazing. I can write this chapter. And then it was about miracles. It was about miracles are normal. I'm like, okay, I've had many miracles in my life. I have had so many, just like you, meeting my husband, total chance meeting. I was out for dinner at a place, like having sushi with a friend, and then I met this amazing man, and so much came from that. So many miracles came from meeting my husband. I can't even, yeah, it's a story for another day. Um, but yeah, I digress. I couldn't decide on the miracle. I couldn't decide which miracle
Which
I was
one?
going
Yeah.
to choose. Yeah. And like how to make it into a story. Anyway, 2 weeks later, the miracles just started dropping, 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 one miracle after another. And that's how we got our miracle trip, which I speak about in the book. It was really, really exciting. And
You just all you did was
yeah,
follow the breadcrumbs, right? You asked,
exactly.
you know what
Relax.
you wanted,
Yep.
and you just follow.
Yes. Yeah. And there was so much that has come from that experience as well. That exactly how it's been with you is that the miracles keep dropping. It's like this
Yeah.
constant, it's creating all kinds of things in my life that were not there before. And I'm just doing inspired action. When I feel inspired, I work. When I don't feel inspired, I take a break.
Mm,
And it feels great.
literally.
So
Yeah.
I'm following your thing. So there's two things, actually, there's two little steps I'm going to add. The one is like being in that state. So choosing what state do I want to have. So if I think about it for me, I would like to feel joy, and I do every day. I would like to feel abundant, and I do every day. I would like to feel grateful, and I feel grateful every day. I would like to feel adventurous. And so I
Yeah.
do adventurous things. And so I choose those states consciously. And that for me is a crucial, crucial step. Just being out there, having fun, playing in life, being light about things, choosing a very light path. And then the other step is it's not really a step, it's more of a thought. So one is a feeling, and the other one is a thought. And the thought is knowing that you absolutely are going to have the dream life you've always wanted. Yes, it may not come in the way you expect, But knowing that things are going to turn around, if things are bad right now, that it's just a season and things are going to turn around. They always do. Just knowing, just absolutely knowing whatever words you need to say to yourself. And these are not necessarily affirmations, these are words that you say to yourself that mean something to you. So, that are kind of self-soothing words. One could say, like ways that you can self-soothe when you are going into panic. Because
Mm,
I think all of us have times where we hit disappointment. So, I was going for a job in December. I had this like month-long process where I thought I would get this job, which is part of the reason I thought, okay, let's just relax and enjoy December and take a holiday because I was so sure I was going to get the job. And I went through the whole process and it was a really exciting, fun, and interesting process. I didn't get the job. And I worked through that disappointment. On the evening that I didn't get it, I coached myself. I soothed myself. I said a whole lot of things to myself that helped me to realize that that was all as it should be, that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, that the disappointment is okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling it. I'm allowed to feel disappointment. And often I do that with EFT as well,
mm.
tapping, because it helps you work through the emotions quicker. Um, but yeah, I think that those two things are what I would add, and I'm interested to know if those resonate with you as well.
I totally get them. Like it's just the way that I phrase them, well, the way that I put them in the structure of the process is like the feeling that you mentioned. To me, that's like part of the aligned action that you take. Because in order to take an aligned action, you need to be aligned. Aligned with what? Aligned with your values, centered, calm, feeling feeling what you described. It's just part of that process because I was just mentioning like three, four major steps, but each one has like sub steps, and feeling that way comes under that. The same with the knowing. To me, that's part of the trust that's inherent to surrendering, right?
Okay,
It's just
gotcha.
part of it's the same. I totally get is I'm wrapping it in a different way or just putting it in a in this category. You know, I'm an Athena archetype. I need things to be very structured
Clean.
and
Got it.
clean. Right. Yeah. Categories, subcategories, all of
I
that.
love it. I love it.
But yeah,
Okay, so we're on
I
exactly
totally
the
get it.
same page. And how do you feel about, okay, so there's two things I want to know how you feel about, so you can tell me. One is goal setting. How do you feel about the old traditional way? Because I'm on the fence a little bit about the goal setting. Like I've been putting that aside for quite a while and rather living in the present moment and in the joy and in the peace and, being really present to now. But then there was, like what sits in the back of my head was there was this Yale University study that they did, a very long one. I think it was like over 30 years or 40 years or something, where they had Yale University students write down their goals and then they tracked them over the years. And the ones who had written goals were more successful, had a better family life, earned more money, like everything about their lives and their fulfillment in their lives was greater, according to the study. And like that was why I bought into the goal setting thing. I heard that story and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to write down my goals and I'm going to put my action plans to it. And, I'm going to do that. But nowadays, when I look at that and I think about that, it feels like very sort of a masculine approach, like a very linear approach to life.
Mm,
just having these goals like set in stone and, the life must work out this way. I know some people who kind of said like, I must be married by this age. I must be, have my degree by this age. I must, and they're like, and then, it doesn't really, life doesn't work like that. It kind of unfolds, things happen, things change. You've got to be fluid. You've got to be flexible. So there's that question. So where are you in terms of, do we set goals? Do we set intentions? Is it just a dream and a vision? How do you see it?
mm. Okay, so it very much depends on exactly what kind of goals are we looking at. I do know my own goals in life, as in how I want to feel, how I spent my life. Like when I'm 80, 90, when I
Mm,
look back at my life, I know I want to feel a certain way. I want to feel satisfied. I want to feel like I've lived a full life. And what does that mean? Like, what does that translate into? Like, that's a goal, right? It's hard to put it on paper. It's hard to
mm,
measure it. It's not like something specific, but it is a goal.
yeah,
So when it comes to life goals like this, I do have them. And I do have a business goal. I do have a money goal. But as I said, I come from the marketing industry, 20 plus years in there. And in marketing, it's all about setting your marketing goals, your KPIs, your ways to track and measure results, and compare it to the goals that you set, and aligning the plan and the strategy and the execution, everything. And I think at some point that just wore me off so much. I just got sick of setting
mm,
up goals.
me
It,
too.
it, as you
Yeah,
said, it's just so
mm,
masculine. Do I have goals?
yeah,
Yes, but it's not the kind of goal that I will grind myself into. Like,
mm,
you gotta get there.
mm,
It's more like a, I'll be happy if that happens, but
uh,
I'm not putting my life on it. You know,
okay, great.
I'm open. That's the thing. I'm now very much open to whatever happens. I want to take it easy. And yeah, if I don't get to that goal, it's okay.
Yeah,
Maybe, as I said, that's the part of the surrender process. Maybe there's something better.
yeah,
Maybe I don't get the money goal, but I get to impact a lot more people with my work, or I get to help someone because they heard something I said or I wrote, or it doesn't matter.
yeah.
That's part of. By the way, I was thinking just this morning. I was thinking about vision boards, because that's where you put your
Yeah.
goals and what you want to accomplish and everything. I've never been good at vision boards. I think I only created one, and I didn't put any pictures on it. It was just writing like goals. I want to have, like, in the next 5 years, I did have a date, like May 22nd, 2027. Like that was the end date. What would I have achieved, manifested, all the miracles? And there was specific list like travels and cruise and working with this business, and going out at least once a month, theater or anything like. It was like all the. And what what happened is that all those things that I really, really, really wanted at the time I was writing them started to fade. Like six
Mm,
months later, I would be looking at something like, oh, I'm not really sure I want that much, that thing that much anymore. So I started crossing and writing new goals.
ah,
And at some point, there was so much crossing. and so much substitution that I was like, oh damn, just throw it away. Let life bring what it has.
The
So
most beautiful vision board you've ever seen. No
absolutely.
pictures, just lots of crossing out and living in the moment
And
instead.
I know I would love to travel. That's on
Yeah.
my list. It's just part of my top priorities in life and values. I
Yeah.
don't need to put it on a vision board. I know
Yeah.
what makes me happy. Um, and anything else that I put there, it just changes. Life changes. We
All right.
change.
Yes, we
And
do.
so getting stuck with goals like this, like you said, like set in stone, it just doesn't work.
Maybe our goal should only be just a few months ahead because we are changing all the time. I mean, that's just how we are. So the other question I had is, so you said that, you're going to throw away all the other tools and that they're there, but they're not necessities, right? But where are you on this? Do you think that meditation and hypnosis, so going into the unconscious or subconscious mind, and like that kind of rewiring your brain that happens in the unconscious. Where are you on that? Because I know that that's something I feel has helped me a lot. Doing the work on my money beliefs, for example, or beliefs I've had in childhood, and then really going in and clearing those from an unconscious level. Do you think that is one of the things that does help people, or has it helped you? Is it something you've ever tried?
It is something that I've done,
Hmm.
and I like this work.
Okay.
I fully appreciate what it does for someone to meet their own beliefs and limitations. And sometimes it's just like a snap, a thought
Yeah.
that comes to you like, oh, right. I wouldn't have thought of that if it wasn't this process.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I do believe it does have its place in personal development
Hmm.
where you get to meet yourself.
Hmm.
And I also do that very regularly myself when I actually read the messages that my subconscious sends me through my dreams. That's how I've established my communication with my subconscious because it doesn't have a lot of ways to communicate back to the conscious, right? It's usually there's a misconnect there. But I read my dreams, I interpret my dreams so that I know what my subconscious is feeling, thinking about the current situation. So that helps me a lot to get clear on where I am. Hypnosis, yes, as long as we don't expect it to create those miracles and those manifestations that we are wanting in our lives. It does help with personal development work. That's my take on it. And one other thing that I want to caution people about when we hear so many messages about clearing blockages, whether it's money blockages, relationships, love blockages, whatever it is, the way that we get bombarded with these messages creates this like psychological tension inside that, oh my gosh, I have all these blockages that I need to work through.
There's something wrong
No,
with me.
there's nothing wrong. Yes, there's something wrong. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I
Mm.
need to go through this blockage. I need to release this blockage. These blockages are
Oh,
there for a certain reason, serve a certain
mm.
purpose. Just sorry.
Yeah. You're
Sometimes
breaking
just
up quite a bit.
realizing Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you are breaking up a bit, but you're coming back.
Yeah. So they they served a specific purpose. Like it's the shadows um, in archetypal language, and you don't really need to fix it. You don't really need to work through it. Sometimes all you need is just to see it, like to realize, to be aware that it's there and why it came there. So that's why I say it's good work,
Mhm.
but in its own lane. To me, I absolutely love it, but I don't find it necessary for manifestation. Like years ago, when I manifested all those things, I didn't know I had money blockages. Like I didn't
Okay.
know I had relationship blockages. I didn't clear
Mm.
anything.
Yeah.
And yet things happened. So I'm thinking it's not really that necessary. It's good, but not
Yeah.
for having miracles happen and appreciate them in your life.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that answer. So that is really interesting.
A
Yeah.
lot,
So
a lot
you use
of
it for
coaches may get
self-care.
a little bit angry with me because I'm, I'm actually about to go really blunt on this on my social channels because really people can get misled a lot
Mhm.
and they get sold a lot of things they don't really need.
Yeah.
And I'm about money, so I'm trying to save people some dollars here and there. And
But
if
maybe
they
it's
want to
also
manifest,
what people want. Maybe people just, it's possible that if a person is in a really tough place and they did have a really difficult childhood, that doing that kind of inner work can really open them up to a whole new world and a whole new life. So, yeah, I mean, I'm quite a believer in all these things, like definitely meditation
oh
and
yeah,
mindfulness and I love self-hypnosis. I really enjoy it and I love feeding. This is the way I see it. We could choose to feed our mind with negative stuff all day long. And most people do. Most people are listening to the news, watching the news, gossiping and talking about all the politics and the prices going up and the wars happening. And, they spend their lives and that is their life. So they are not in a state of the state they want to be in. They haven't
mm,
even thought about what state they want to be in. They're so busy focusing on all of the things that have got nothing to do with their happiness, their fulfillment, their peace, their self-actualization,
yeah,
their joy. They just don't have time for the gratitude work and the savoring because they are so busy focused on the outside world, which they cannot change,
yeah,
and why it should change. And and so I think this inner work can literally turn that on its axis and change a person in such a way that their life will become what they really, really want. And so that's why I'm very open to seeing which techniques really work best for that, to
yeah,
help somebody turn their lives around if they're in a very dark place and a very negative space. And that's been happening for a long time. I mean, I think the greatest tragedy in life is when you meet someone who's like 85 or 90 and they're still talking about, with bitterness and anger and sadness about how their parents treated them who have been dead for 40 years, you know, or something that happened in the when they were 15 or whatever. And they cannot get over that. They cannot get past that. And it has clouded their reality for their entire life. And for me, that is devastating. That like to live with that regret of all those wasted years where you could have been happy and embraced life. I mean, that is to me, it's like criminal, you know. And I those are like I really want to help people who are in that space at any age, obviously. The earlier one can sort out any kind of bitterness, unforgiveness, anger, resentment that one is holding, the quicker, you know, the better your life is going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
the longer
totally
your
with
life
you
is
on
going to,
this. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. This kind
So,
of work can do
yeah,
miracles in
yes,
somebody's life.
yes. And
About the more advanced people who
yeah,
are already in it, but
yeah,
still fall for the fluff. I'm just
yeah,
trying to make sure we can distinguish between what you really need versus what is a nice add-on, but don't really, make a
right.
difference that much.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
hear
what
you.
you're saying is absolutely precious. And yes, yes,
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, as usual, we are on the same page.
we are.
Oh, thank you so much, Vicky. We've gone on really long, so I'm gonna call it the end now. And just, is there a parting words that you want to leave for everybody? Is there anything you still want to say? One last piece of golden advice that you can leave them with?
Everyone can bring miracles in their life, manifestations or whatever. And you don't really need anything special to do it. It's already with you, in you. There's just simple steps you need to follow without all the bells and whistles, really. But
Lovely.
anyone
And
can do it.
also, would you like to tell them where they can reach you? Is the best
Oh,
place Money
sure.
Goddesses on School? I have tagged your YouTube channel in the headlines so they can reach you on YouTube.
Yeah, they can reach me on YouTube. You can reach me on Facebook. On Skool is where I hang out the most. So if you go to Skool and look for Money Goddesses, that's my free community where you are welcome to join and connect with me personally. I'm really, literally, like every day I'm there. I don't even
Awesome.
spend that much time on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, but schooling is my thing.
And I'm gonna put the link in the show notes and in the description of the YouTube video and in the comments. I'll put the link to
Oh,
your school so people can come and connect with you there. I think that'll be
beautiful.
amazing.
Oh,
And of
that would
course,
be
they
great.
must rush over to Amazon and buy Unleash Your Inner Money Goddess by Viktoria Chervenkova.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
it's brilliant. I'll put that link there as well for everyone.
Thank
Great.
you so much.
Thank you, darling. It's been
Thank
wonderful speaking to you again. I'm so, so grateful for your time, for your expertise, for your passion, and, for sharing these miracles that you've created. I think it was a really awesome session.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's always such a joy and pleasure to spend time with you and talk with you on all these topics that we are both so passionate about.
Oh, no, I think we could talk for hours and
I
hours
know.
about this stuff. Oh, it's been
All right.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now I must figure out how to stop everything. I have no idea.
Thanks everyone for watching.
I'm gonna
And
click end
commenting.
meeting for all and I'll see if that also ends it on YouTube. Bye,
All right.
everybody. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe, etc.